This is future Natalie popping in before the intro to this video that I filmed over a month ago. I didn't realise that I would be including spoilers in this video, but I have done. So any of the books that I do talk about, there will be spoilers included in this video. So if you don't want to be spoiled for any of them, please don't watch. Or if you don't mind spoilers, then go ahead watch. But yeah, no, there will be spoilers on the books that I am reading. Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I wanted to do something that was suggested to me. This was a video suggested by my lovely friend Melissa. She is one of my favourite people in the world. We've been friends for almost 12 years and we were talking. She watches every single one of my videos, so Melissa, when you see this, hi. And she gave me a video idea of predicting what I'm going to rate a book before I read it and then giving my actual rating afterwards. So I've got a few books that I want to read in the month of April, and I'm going to tell you what my prediction is before I've read it, and also and then I'll tell you and insert a clip of what I actually rated it. So the first book is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. So I have a feeling this is either going to be a 4.5 or a 5-star, and that is because I'm a die-hard romance girl. I love romance books and I give 5-star reviews away way too easily. And you know what? I don't care, because when I really love a book, I will happily give it 5 stars really quickly. But yeah, so for this one I am thinking it's going to be a 4.5 or a 5-star. It's a cowboy romance. I have already started this. I'm currently on chapter 4. I like it so far at the start. It's very easy to read. It's a very short read as well. I've never read a cowboy romance before, so I wanted to give one a try, and this is one that Geordie read in January and she absolutely adored this book. So yeah, at this point I am thinking it's going to be a 4.5 or a 5-star. The next book is one that I started reading this series this year. I read the first book in February and I've been devouring the entire series, and that is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. Now I think this is going to be a solid 5-star straight off the bat, and that is because I love this series, and this is Cassian's book, and Cassian is my man. I adore him. He's my favourite out of the Bat Boys. I love him. I can't wait to see his and Nesta's story, because I just think it's going to be so great, and I want to see more into Nesta's mind and what she actually went through to make her the way that she is, because I do know that in the first few books she is very bristly and she's quite mean, especially to Feyre, which did make me dislike her a little bit. But I don't hate Nesta. I actually do quite like her, especially after reading Wings and Ruin. And yeah, no, I'm looking forward to moving along with their story, and I think it's going to be really good, and I'm just excited. Honestly, I'm just so excited to read this, and I think it's definitely going to be a 5-star. So the next couple of books are the last 2 books in the If Love series by Anna Huang, and that is If Love Had a Price and If We Were Perfect. I read the first 2 books in the series last year. I rated book 1 4 stars and book 2 4.5 stars, and I think these are probably going to be 4 stars or maybe 3.5s. This is nothing against Anna. I love her works. I love her work so much. I absolutely adore the Twisted series. I love it so much. I read Twisted Love twice. And that's not even my favourite book in the series, but I've read it twice. So I'm genuinely I am really looking forward to these, but I just don't think they are my favourite of Anna's books. And I think, yeah, these are going to either be a 3.5 or a 4-star. They may surprise me and end up being like 4.5s, because I didn't expect book 2 to be a 4.5, but it did. But yeah, who knows, maybe they might be amazing, because Anna is an amazing author, and they could end up being 5 stars. But yeah, at this point in time I am thinking that these are both gonna be on the lower side of my ratings, and that's a shock for me because I love romance books. But yeah, So the next book is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I know a lot of people love Ali Hazelwood's work. I've not personally read any of her books yet. I do own a few, and this one really caught my eye because it's vampires and werewolves, and if you know me, you know I love anything to do with that. Or some of my favourite TV shows are stuff like Teen Wolf, the Vampire Diaries, Legacies, the originals. I love them, and I love all like that kind of stuff. I've been reading werewolf stories on Wattpad since I was like 13, and yeah, no, I am really looking forward to this. I think it's probably going to be a 5-star for me because it is just exactly my kind of book, with the like themes of it, and it's a romance and everything. So yeah, no, I am really looking forward to this. I think she's a vampire and the guy's a werewolf, and I think they have like an arranged marriage to kind of bridge the divide between their like two like species or something. But yeah, no, so I think it's an enemies to lovers, and yeah, I love a good enemies to lovers book, so I think this is going to be a 5-star. I really hope it is, but I have seen a couple of people rate it only like 4 stars and stuff because they said it just wasn't the best. But you know, I think personally I am going to adore this. And then the final book on this list is one that I haven't actually got physically. I am buying the series physically when I have the money, but it's expensive, and that is The Score by Elle Kennedy. I think this one's probably going to be a 3-star or a 3.5. I rated The Deal and The Mistake both 5 stars. I love those two books. The Mistake is my favourite so far in the series, but I've been trying to read The Deal for ages, and I just don't like Dean. I don't like him. There's something about him that annoys me, and I just don't think it's going to be my favourite. It's definitely not going to be my favourite book in the series. I think if I just sat down and just like got myself through it, I could read it pretty quickly. But yeah, no, as of this point, I don't think it's going to be my favourite. I definitely don't think it's going to be a 5-star. It's going to probably be a 3.5 or a 3-star. It may surprise me and I might love it more towards the end, but as of right now, no, because I've been reading it for like 2 months and I'm only on chapter 8 because I'm struggling to get through it. Ignore the state of me, okay? I know I look disgusting. It's a rock day and all I want to do is sit in my bed and read. But yeah, no, I thought I'd give a bit of an update because I'm reading my first book from this video, and it's this one, A Court of Flames. And as of this point, my prediction of it being a 5-star is standing. It's standing. I'm 211 pages in now, and yeah, my opinion is definitely standing with this one because it's so good. I'm in love with it. So yeah, as of this point right now, my prediction of my rating is standing for it. We're ignoring the fact I look like a drowned rat currently, okay? I just washed my hair. But I finally finished this book. 5-star. It was 5-star. My prediction was correct. I knew it would be. I loved this book so goddamn much, and I think it's now my favourite in the series. I need more. I need more Cassian and Nesta. They're my favourite couple. Honestly, like, I loved it so much. I've tabbed it and everything, and yeah, I'm sad it's over. And I really want to get thrown off class now because I really just want to carry on being in the Sarah J Maas universe. I know it doesn't follow the same characters, but yeah. But yeah, no, I was right. My prediction was right. A 5-star book. Absolutely loved. And I'm so glad that there's going to be more books in this series. So I'm officially moving on to the second book I want to do for this video, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I think I predicted I was going to give this either a 4 or 5-star. I can't remember, honestly. I filmed that intro a little while ago, okay? I've just finished reading this and my brain's a bit mushy. But I'm going to go straight into this one. I'm listening to the audiobook of it on Spotify, and I'm looking forward to it because it seems like it's exactly my kind of book. It's vampires, werewolves, romance, me to a T. So yeah, I'm going to make a start on this now, and I will update you guys if I have any thoughts going through it, and yeah. So I did not give an update when I was reading this book, because I finished it in a day. Started yesterday at like 7 p.m. and I finished it about like an hour or so ago. Unfortunately, my predictions for this one were wrong. I thought it would get like a 4 or a 5 star, but I ended up only giving it a 3 star. It wasn't a bad book by any means. It was good, it was decent, but I just didn't connect with the characters. They annoyed me at some points, and like, considering how much everyone hypes up Ali Hazelwood's books and her writing, I just didn't see the appeal and the like, oh my god, about it. Like, it wasn't bad by any means, and I'm probably gonna get some hate for like dissing an Ali Hazelwood book, because, you know, she's a book talk sensation. Woo. But yeah, no. It wasn't bad by any means, but it really did give Wattpad werewolf story vibes. And don't get me wrong, I love a good Wattpad werewolf story, but it felt like it was really slow, and then it like sped up like plot wise, and then the characters went from like being quite cold and distant with each other to like wanting to rip each other's clothes off, and the main character, I felt like she had no character development whatsoever. I felt like she was the same from start to finish, and that was just, she was blissfully ignorant to everything. And yeah, no, I know a lot of people love this book, but it wasn't really for me, and it is just gonna stay at a 3 star. So sadly, it did not meet my predicted score. I am, however, now moving on to If Love Had a Price by Anna Huang. This book I said I think will be between a 4 or a 4.5 star. I'm currently about to start chapter 7. I'm listening to the audiobook of this book. I'm about to be in Spotify jail with audiobooks, which makes me very sad because it doesn't get renewed until like January, till the 12th of next month. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to carry on listening to this on Audible on Spotify audiobooks, unfortunately, but I'll just read it physically. No opinions really so far because I'm literally only 54 pages in. But it's fine, it's cute, it's fun, it's like the first 2 books in the series as of this point. And from what I gathered, it's fake dating, and I love a good fake dating romance, so let's see if I like this book. So I think I'm going to be able to finish this tonight. I'm about halfway through. I am liking it. I think my rating was actually wrong for it. I think, I thought it was going to either be a 4 star or a 3.5. It's potentially looking at being a 4.5 because it is pretty good. It could be a 4 star because there's little bits in it that I'm just not the biggest fan of. But yeah, no, I really like the main guy. I love Chris. I love Nate, and I think they have a very good I like their relationship, because she's really sassy and knows who she is, and he's very down to earth, and you're very normal, he's kind of like an alpha male, but in a really hot way. But yeah, no, I really like this, so I definitely want to finish this soon, and then I will be moving on to If We Were Perfect, because I do have audiobooks of both of them, luckily. No, going to now carry on with this, and then I will update. So I've actually ended up finishing 2 more books for this video. So as you know, I was reading If Love Had a Price, and I actually ended up giving this, my predicted rating for this, I gave it a little bit higher than what I predicted. So I predicted I was going to give these books, I think, between a 3.5 and a 4.5. So I had a bit of a spread out range for it. I actually gave this a 4.75. It wasn't quite a 5 star because there was some bits in here that just made me cringe. And because I was listening to the audiobook, the man's voice was just really growly and gruff, and I was just like, ugh. made me cringe, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with some of the things he said while using that voice. I was like, no. Also, listening to spicy scenes on audiobook is not fun. It's not fun in the slightest because it's just so awkward, and I was just laughing. But yeah, no, this actually beat expectations, and this one was a bit higher. I couldn't give it a 5-star purely just because there was some bits in it that made me cringe. Some of the things the characters did annoyed me. But yeah, no, I genuinely really enjoyed this, and I've got to say, I think this is my favourite book in the series, which then leads me on to book 4, which I also finished. I didn't even say I was starting this. And that's because I didn't plan to finish it in one sitting, but I did. I didn't sleep at all last night, so I finished reading this, and then, because I still couldn't sleep, at around about 5 in the morning I started this, and I finished it around about 20 minutes ago. And this one stuck to expectations. I gave this a 4-star. This one, honestly, it kind of just felt like a cut and paste of this one with just a couple of different tropes. And I still enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, that's why I gave it a 4-star, and I liked the couple. And like I liked the characters, and I liked like the tropes and everything in it, but it was very much cut and paste from book 3 to book 4, just with a different couple and a different relationship dynamic. So yeah, no, I still enjoyed this, but I finished it in 5 hours, and that's because I listened to the audiobook. I was listening to the audiobook on like 2.3 times speed. So yeah, no, this one met expectations, and I got my predicted score right. This one just about beat my predicted score for it, only by 0.25 of a rating, but that's still something. So yeah, no, I've finished both of them now, and I think I've still just got like a couple more books for this video. I'm not really sure, if I'm being completely honest. So it's been a while since I did an update for this video because the last couple of books I read put me in a reading slump, and I've not read anything in like a month. Well, that's a lie. I've read a little bit, but I've not actually like properly read anything. But I finally have an update, and that is that I finally finished reading The Score. And honestly, by the end of this book, it did actually beat expectations. I gave this book a 4-star in the end, just because by the end of the book I did genuinely love Dean and Ellie together. It's still definitely not my favourite, and I couldn't give it a 5-star considering I started this book on the 24th of January and I only just finished it today, and it's currently the 13th of June. So I couldn't give this anything higher than a 4-star. I did think of giving it a 3.75, but because I was genuinely like kind of like laughing and kicking my feet by the end, I knew it was a 4-star. But I have to say, by the end of the book, I found Dean quite funny. He did like I said, he annoyed me at the start. He gave major fuckboy energy, and I was just not about that. But by the end of the book, I found him quite sweet and funny and just really real, and I thought I did like Ellie, but she isn't my favourite character. I found she was quite plain a little bit sometimes, and just some things about her personality got on my nerves. So they're definitely not my favourite couple. That at the moment does still stand at being Logan and Grace. They are my favourite couple at the moment. Well, Hannah's my favourite girl, Logan is my favourite guy at this point. But yeah, no, I did genuinely enjoy this by the end, so I did give it a 4-star. It just took like basically almost 6 months for me to read it, so that is why around about 5 months. That's why I did only give this book a 4-star instead of a 5-star, but it still beat my expectations by the end of it, and I am glad with that, because I didn't want to not like the rest of this series, because I genuinely loved the first 2 books. I loved The Deal and The Mistake, and yeah, just I really liked it. So yeah, 4-star in the end for this, and I'm looking forward to reading The Goal, which I will be doing at some point soon when I can. It's just, yeah, was actually laughing at some of the things in this as well, and I like, okay, spoilers here, so you know, if you haven't read this book, don't watch this bit, but I liked how Dean changed his career path from because he was going to go and be a lawyer, but in the end he worked with children instead, and I think that was really cute. And I just liked how his character really developed throughout the story, and he changed quite a bit, and he became a better person. So yeah, I ended up enjoying this by the end, and I'm glad. I also listened to the last half of this book on audiobook because I was struggling so much. I got it on Audible because I got a voucher for like £10 on it, and this was on sale on Audible for like £3.49, I think. So yeah, I got the audiobook, although listening to spicy scenes through an audiobook is so awkward, but I did it. So yeah, I'm happy I finally finished this book. The next one I'm moving on to is one I have already started, like I said a while ago, and that is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I'm currently on chapter 5. I also have the audiobook for this on Audible because I got it with my voucher because it was only like £3.99. So I'm going to make a start on this today. I'm hoping I can finish this either today or tomorrow because it's not that long of a book, and I have heard it's really good, so I'm going to try and finish this as quick as possible because I've been reading these since April. So, you know, it's been a long time coming. But yeah, I can't remember what I predicted for this book. I'll insert what I predicted my prediction for this was. I think it was 5-star, but I'm honestly not sure. But yeah, I will update along the way. So it's literally the next day from my last update is the 14th of June, and I said I'd update as I got through the book a bit, but I finished it already, so I can't. I listened to this on audiobook last night, and I listened all the way to the end. I finished it I think around about like 1:30 in the morning. Sadly, this book did not meet my expectations, and I only gave it a 3.75. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was a cute book, but I had my issues. I felt like it was very like insta-lovey. Like it felt like 1 second she was like, oh, I hate him, and then the next she's like, oh my god, I want this man to fuck me. And like she was in love with him like really quickly, and he was in love with her from like the second she walked into his bar, and just like it just felt very insta-lovey to me, and I didn't really like that. And then I wished like they had like dug a bit more into the trauma that Emmy was going through with her whole like accident during while she was training a horse. I wish they dug into that a bit more. Obviously they had the scene where she had her panic attack and stuff, but it didn't feel like they dug into it enough, and like they just kind of like went past all of her trauma, and it just felt very rushed, and it felt like we just skipped over a lot of things I would have liked them to concentrate on more and stuff. Like I don't know, it wasn't my favorite. I'm still going to read the rest of the series because I did find it cute. It was an easy read, and I do want to see what happens with the rest of the Ryder family siblings, because I think the next 2 books in the series follow Emmy's brothers. But I do have to say this did not meet expectations, so I ended up only giving it 3.75 stars. So with me finishing reading Done and Dusted, that is officially it for this video. I have to say I really enjoyed doing this challenge. It was very fun, and I think I'll definitely do it again. Thank you, Melissa, for this idea. But I think I'm going to just go through the books now, give my opinions. I'll give you my favourite and then my least favourite, and also one that defeated expectations the most. So yeah. I think the best one, the only one actually in this video that actually met expectations, was A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. I gave this book a 5-star. I predicted I'd give it a 5-star, and I kind of knew from the get-go that I would give it 5 stars, and that's just because I love the ACOTAR series. I love Cassian and Nesta. Cassian is my favourite of the Bat Boys, and by the end of this book I really grew to love Nesta. So yeah, this one I'm not surprised. I gave it 5 stars. I expected that from the start, and I'm happy that I ended up really enjoying this book, because I was so scared it was going to let me down in a little bit in my mind, but I kind of also knew it wouldn't. But yeah, no, just I love the characters. I love the way that Nesta worked through her trauma and developed properly as a person and became who she was, and she kind of basically accepted who she was in this world. And I will admit, Feyre annoyed me a little bit in this book, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff she did and said made me kind of aggravated with her, but I still love Feyre. Elaine I just find boring. Maybe I'll have a different opinion on her in the future, but as of right now I do not like Elaine. And I just I've seen fan theories about who Elena will be ending up with, and if it's some of the fan theories, no, I have my own theories about who I want her to end up with, but that's in a completely different video because I have done an in-depth review of my review of the ACOTAR series. So my least favourite throughout this entire video has to be Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. This one let me down the most. I think this is the one I rated the lowest. I only gave this 3 stars. And that is just because I found it so boring. I felt like the main character, I can't remember her name. I think her name was it Misery? Yeah, Misery. She had no character development. She was just blissfully unaware of everything going on around her the entire story. And then the romance in it just seemed very rushed. It felt like it didn't go anywhere, and honestly I just think it gives Wattpad werewolf book but in a bad way. There's some Wattpad werewolf books that are really good and you really love them, and then there's ones like this which are just very lackluster. There's not really much there, and I just genuinely think that I just don't see the hype behind Ellie Hazelwood. I really don't. I know a lot of people love her work. I just personally don't see it, because I've had a couple of her books on my shelf for a while now. I've never even wanted to pick them up, and then I did read this one and I just really wasn't a fan of the writing style at all, so I don't own my other copies now, and this copy will be going very soon as well. So the next few books, they either kind of met expectations, were lower than expectations, or were just a tiny bit higher. For example, with the last 2 books in the If Love series by Anna Huang, If We Were Perfect met expectations. I gave it a 4-star, and that is because that series to me is a 4-star series, which is not bad. I think it's a genuinely enjoyable series. It's a very easy read. I have now finished it all, and I honestly have to say that I think that people can enjoy it, and it was good. So this one met expectations, whereas If Love Had a Price actually went over expectations. I gave this a 4.75, and it was just under a 5-star, which is the highest rating I've given a book in this series. And that I think is mainly just because I really loved the couple in this book. I really love Chris and Nate. I love how Chris was so sassy and so sure of herself, and she didn't need anybody to tell her who she was. She knew who she was, and she wasn't afraid to show the world that. And I think she didn't need much character development. Yeah, she needed some smoothing around the edges with some things that were causing her trauma from her past, but I think as a person she was amazing, and I just like who she was, and I like how she went through the story and just became more of a powerful woman. And yeah, that is like the only one that beat, oh no, actually there's another one that beat expectations in this video, but with these two, met expectations and beat expectations. The other one that beat expectations was The Score by Elle Kennedy. Like I said in my clip about this book, I was expecting to give this like a 3-star, and that is because I have been reading this since January 24th and I only finished it now in June. And that was mainly because I didn't like Dean and I didn't really like Ellie that much. But as the story went on, I genuinely started to really love them as people and them as a couple. I think I ended up giving this 4-star or 4.5, I'm not 100% sure. Definitely wasn't a 5-star book, because it took me so long to read and I genuinely didn't like the characters at some points. But by the end of it, I genuinely grew to love them as people and as a couple. I think Dean really grew into himself and you got to see a part of him that in the other stories you didn't really see, and I think that is why I went into this book not really liking him, because my entire mind about him was made up before I went into it, so that may have been on me. But before this book, he came off very much like fuckboy energy, doesn't really care about anyone but himself, and obviously that's not the case. So yeah, by the end of this book I genuinely really did enjoy them, and I am glad that I finished it, and I'm really looking forward to reading the next book in the series, which is The Goal, and then I'm going on to the Briar U series before I read The Legacy, because I know this, you can just read The Legacy straight away, but I want to read the Briar U first because they kind of like interconnect. But yeah, no, really good book. I really enjoyed it and I can't wait to read the next book in the series and then read all the Briar U's. And now finally, the final book that we have for this video, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I was sadly let down by this book. A lot of people gave this 5 stars. It's been very hyped up on social media, and a lot of people just seem to love it. I personally just found it very lacking. I found that it was very rushed, it was very insta-lovey. I felt like it just jumped over everything, like it talked about something but then before you could really grasp your mind around it, it jumped onto the next thing, and I just personally didn't enjoy it as much as I expected to, because I expected to give this book either a 4.5 or a 5-star, but in the end I only gave it a 3.75, so obviously that is quite a bit lower. I'm not saying it's a bad book at all. I think it's a very fun, easy read. It's very cozy. It's set in like a very like small town, and it's got like the cowboy romance and everything, and I will read the rest of the series because I do want to see what happens with the romances, because I have a feeling I know who one of the couples is going to be and I definitely want to read their book. But I don't think this is going to be a 5-star series for me, as it has been for a lot of other people, and I think it's probably going to stay at being a solid either like 3.75 or 4-star series. Who knows, maybe the next couple of books will surprise me, but as of right now that is where my view on it is definitely standing, and I don't think that is going to change. So I'm going to say from like in order of my favourite to least favourite for this video, it's going to definitely have to be Silver Flames, If Love Had a Price, The Score, If We Were Perfect, Done and Dusted, and then Bride. I think I really liked seeing how my opinion changed throughout this video of what I thought the books were going to be. It was a really fun experience and I'm definitely going to do this again, and I hope everyone enjoyed. So that's officially it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with any of my opinions on these books or if you don't agree with me. And if you'd like to see this again, also let me know that as well. Or if you've got any other like vlogs or something you'd like to see me to do, just let me know in the comments below. As you can probably see, my background is a little bit different and it has been for the last couple of clips. That is because I have moved my room around again. I keep doing this. I will give a tour once my room is sorted out properly and organised. But yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I will catch you next time.